diversified, based on their own perspective, but also hang in there. And then you also have the insurance salespeople, right? And those are the ones that sort of irritate us, right? Because they're sort of putting themselves out there as advisors. They're not advisors, they're salespeople, right? There's a big difference. So if you sit down with somebody and they put themselves out there as an advisor, their job is to advise you on how to invest your money. If they turn around and try to sell you an annuity product, now they're a salesperson, right? And I'm very frustrated with how they promote themselves as advisors, but really they're just salespeople for insurance companies. And then you've got independent companies like Talon Law. All right, our job as fee-only fiduciaries is to sit down with you, show you what all of your investment options are, give you the ability to make an informed decision. I don't know if you would want to work with us or not. You might not. If we provide value, or if you perceive it as value, you might want to work with us. If we're not providing value, that's okay too. But we only want to work with individuals that we can provide value to. And that starts with a conversation. And I just know there's a lot of people out there that feel like they're just hanging in there, or they feel like doing as much as they should, or they're losing it. And they feel stuck in a lot of situations. So with us, it starts with a conversation. We don't charge anything for sitting down. We don't charge anything for the analysis or the comprehensive financial plan. If you want to work with us, we'll talk to you about the fee to work with us. But we would only recommend that if we can provide value. And we won't know that, Kristen, until we sit down and have a conversation.
If you have a relationship with your advisor, or lack thereof, that left you feeling frustrated and a little at a loss, that comprehensive financial plan is something you should take advantage of. Complimentary. Again, a $1,500 value. 916-545-6000. 916-545-6000. Plan that's laid out for you pretty black and white so that you know your options and can make the best decisions for your family moving forward. You can also schedule that by visiting GardenYourNestEgg.com. Stay with us for some Christmas movie flashback time. A discussion about thinking positive and how it can impact your longevity, and planning to fund however long it is we're celebrating your birthday, right? That's next on Guarding Your Nest Egg with Mike Lester.
Oh, the weather outside is right, but the fire is so delightful. There's me no place to go. Let it snow, let it snow, let it snow. And it doesn't show sign of stopping.
Many of us enjoy being DIYers around the house, but do you really need a financial advisor for retirement, or can you just do that yourself too? Well, it depends. Have the Talon Wealth team create a comprehensive financial plan personalized for you at no cost. Then you can compare what you're doing to what's possible with a team of fiduciaries on your side. Schedule now at GuardingYourNestEgg.com. That's GuardingYourNestEgg.com.
Have you ever thought about what a true fiduciary is? Mike Lester is the founder of Talon Wealth, and he believes the definition of a true fiduciary is simple.
A true fiduciary would not sell you a product that they got commission on. A true fiduciary does well when you do well.
Some of those products could be mutual funds, annuities, or even real estate investment trusts. Mike believes a true fiduciary shouldn't get paid before their client does. And that kind of makes sense. Mike is a true fiduciary who's passionate about those near and in retirement being aware of all of your options and making sure you receive the value you're paying for, because every penny counts in retirement. Visit GuardingYourNestEgg.com and request a free comprehensive financial plan to find out if there are better options available that you might not be aware of. By the way, this process also reveals if you've saved enough to retire comfortably. So connect and schedule now at GuardingYourNestEgg.com.
Hey, there's John McGinnis here. Let's think about this for a moment. What is a true fiduciary? Well, Mike Lester is the founder of Talon Wealth, and he believes the definition is quite simple. A true fiduciary is someone who does not sell products. Some of those products could be mutual funds, annuities, or even real estate investment trusts. Mike says a true fiduciary shouldn't get paid before their client does. That absolutely makes sense. Mike is a true fiduciary who's passionate about those near and in retirement being aware of all your retirement options and making sure you receive the full value you're paying for. Every penny counts in retirement. So reach out for a free comprehensive financial plan to see if there are better options available that you may not be aware of. Call them at 916-545-6000, 916-545-6000. By the way, this process also reveals if you saved enough to retire comfortably. So connect and schedule now at guardingyournestegg.com.
Advisory services through Talon Private Wealth and SEC registered investment advisor. John McGinnis was compensated for this message and is not a client of Talon Private Wealth, LLC, California license 0N00828.
Sacramento's place to talk. Online, anytime. It's KSDE.com. Perspective about your retirement. You really do separate fact from fiction. Guarding Your Nest Egg with Mike Lester and Kristen Charles.
Deck the halls with boughs of holly, fa la 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 la.
Speaking of decking the halls, we've all seen Clark Griswold do that on Christmas vacation and endure a few injuries along the way. Haven't watched it yet this year. I've got to, though.
I'm working on it. What's your favorite part? Mine's the squirrel.
The squirrel is good.
Maybe the cat.
The cat makes me uncomfortable.
The cat under the chair who bites the wire button.
My favorite part is when he's trying to get everything to work and doesn't realize what he's plugging in and, oh, it's on, it's off. Yeah.
Yeah.
To me, that's kind of how life goes.
That's great. But something about the squirrel. I hear a noise. Is there a noise? Chasing a squirrel.
Injuries at the holidays, not just Clark Griswold, the Consumer Product Safety Commission estimates that 14,700 people visit the hospital ER each November and December from holiday-related decorating accidents. And I'm going to tell on myself a little bit here. I didn't injure myself. I highly frustrated myself. I put Christmas lights in the shrubbery out front. But this one area of the hedge, I thought, that just could be a little tighter there. I don't like the shape of it. I got a little OCD about it. Well, guess who cut through their Christmas lights?
Yeah, the hedge trimmers and just cut it right through it.
Yeah, like an idiot. Now it said a lot of really not nice things. And
Well, did you rewire it from that top?
apparently not. I called my father over and he said,
Splice the wires, Kristen.
he said, I got you. Yeah, he fixed
Split
it.
spin them together. Go, yeah, you're good. No big deal.
What about you? Christmas, antics, injuries that have to do with decorating?
There was a spread there. He said November, December. So I had been to the emergency room in November before. That was a turkey-related accident. It had a lot to do with my thumb and trying to get the turkey leg off. And anyway, so that wasn't great. But it turns out there's no nerve damage in my thumb after they sewed, half of it back on. It's okay. After that, Christmas trees. Gosh, I told you the story about the last natural tree we had.
No, I don't remember.
And so while I grew up, we always had natural trees, and so it's the whole thing about a natural tree. There's the smell, and then you light it up, and then they're unique, of course, and then you're adding water, and you vacuum every day because the
needles are everywhere.
And that's just kind of part of the charm of it. So last one I had, and apparently was just outside of the spray zone where they sort of like treat them for any bugs they may have. We got it all set up, put it in the living room, get the lights on, and this tree started to warm up, and then the ground was crawling. Apparently I think it's a nematode, right? And I could be wrong, and we have expert listeners in basically every specific thing. So if I'm wrong, I apologize, but I think they were nematodes. Looked like the carpet was crawling. They were all over the place. But then, it was bad. But more recently, so we've moved on to an artificial tree, which in my family was, sacrilegious for a long time, like after the bugs and Katie, we didn't do that. So now we have this tree, but the problem is it's like 12 feet tall, right? And then these sort of pre-lit, like you never know if the lights are going to work.
Oh, I have one of those. Yes, it takes forever.
But I'm the one who has to get on the ladder. And the problem is Katie has this ribbon, that you wrap from top to bottom, and the tree comes to a point. So by the time you're at the top of the ladder and you're trying to reach the point and you're trying to start this ribbon that's going to go all the way around the tree, and you're kind of dangling out over a ladder, and she looks at me like it's no big deal, and I'm thinking, I'm 50 years old.
It could break my neck very easily doing this.
If I fall off of this thing, it's not a good idea. And she's like a drill sergeant, when it comes to getting this thing on there.
You're basically Clark Griswold because the turkey, he didn't injure himself, but think about it, he cut into it, there's nothing in there. You had to go to the ER of the turkey. And knowing that the Christmas tree had live things living in it, it wasn't a squirrel, thank goodness, but you're a Griswold through and through.
Just trying to make everybody happy, Kristen. That's not easy.
Hey, secret, never going to happen. If Mama's happy, everybody's happier.
Why Why do you think I'm dangling out one-legged over a ladder, hoping to...
That's true, you could hug that.
I'm trying to keep Mama happy, because if I don't do it, and then I can't have her do it, right?
No,
Like, it's just the whole thing. Anyway.
One of the boys gets a little older, you'll get to pass that down, don't worry.
I don't think so. I wouldn't be willing to let them do this. Like, I feel crazy doing it myself. Somebody's gonna get hurt. Might as well be me. But I just want to get a smaller tree. That's what I want to do.
Well, talk to Miss Katie about that.
A safer tree.
A safer tree, honey, for the whole family. Because we want to grow old together. We want to have a long life. According to the National Library of Medicine, research finds that those over 50 with more positive self-perceptions about aging live 7.5 years longer than those with less positive perspectives of aging. And most of us have a loved one that's lived well into their 90s, some over 100. And if I think about the people I know that have lived that long, they were overall very happy. They were not so much of us, and are not so much of us. I now hate to move away from the positive talk because that is good news, but I know we have people listening right now to Guarding Your Nest Egg that are wondering what kind of math they need to do to make sure they don't run out of money before they run out of birthdays because they live a positive life.
I hear this all the time when it comes to advertising or seminars that people do. They try to scare people about how long they're going to live. And they try to scare people about you're going to run out of money. And then they try to say, well, hey, listen, if you just lock your money up in this, then you're going to get paid for the rest of your life, or you never have to worry about income or income. So what I would say is be very, very careful there. So we have some rules when it comes to investing. Number one is going to be things are going to change. So let's just imagine, let's say you're 65 years old. If you're 65, we want to run a financial plan to your 95. That's 30 years. If somebody comes to you and they say, hey, listen, I've got the greatest investment in the world. All you have to do is move your retirement savings into it, or a portion of your retirement savings, and that's going to take care of you for the next 30 years. I refer to it as a long-term commitment. Very few things last 30 years, except for maybe a mortgage. And a mortgage is guaranteed, but you know what you're going to pay every month. A lot of these products that people are sort of promoting with scare taxes become a problem. So our number one rule would be, I don't want to lock up my money for a long period of time because I don't know what returns are going to be, or inflation is going to be, or my expenses are going to be in the future. So why lock into that right now? Find investments that are going to meet your current needs and make sure that you're not committed to that for the rest of your life because things are going to change. So that's one of the things that we sit down with individuals and educate them on every single week, which is what are all of my investment options? How do I make an informed decision? And a true fiduciary is going to do that. A true fiduciary isn't going to say, oh, I'm a fiduciary, but here's what you should do. Put half your money in an annuity and then put half your money in this managed account, and then you'll be okay. That's a sales presentation. It's not a fiduciary presentation. So number one, I wouldn't use an annuity in that situation. Number two, look at all of your options. And then number three, make sure we're maintaining flexibility, maintaining liquidity, and make sure you're not locking in anything for a long period of time.
If you have questions about that, speak to Brian, one of our team members off the air, or possibly Mike. He grabs as many calls as he can. 916-545-6000. 916-545-6000. So if that's not the answer to making sure we don't run out of money before we run out of birthdays, what is?
Well, the answer is look at all of your options. Work with somebody, I keep repeating myself, but work with a fiduciary that's going to explain all of the investment options. A true fiduciary, a true active money manager, number one, isn't going to tell you to hang in there. But number two, isn't going to try to sell you products, right? And that product, it might be an annuity, but it could be a mutual fund, it could be a REIT. I mean, these are all sort of packaged investments. Where the investment company is probably doing better than you are, and the advisor is getting a commission. If you're working with somebody that has a vested interest in you doing well, who charges you a fee, that means they want you to do well because their fee is based on your account value. And that's where we're at as fiduciary financial advisors, and we'd love to show you what we do and how we do it.
916-545-6000. 916-545-6000. Our free comprehensive financial planning process can tell you if you've saved enough to retire comfortably, and if not, how do you get there, and how much you can spend without running out of money. That is free, that comprehensive financial plan. You'll walk away with a written plan for your retirement. You can implement on your own, take to your current advisor, or whatever you wish you can do with it. Hopefully you'll decide to work with us. In fact, you can schedule that online, guardingyournestegg.com. Stay with us. We're going to put Mike on the spot with some Christmas trivia and share some perspective about having goals and writing things down and how that can be a game changer. Next on Guarding Your Nest Egg.
Mike Lester believes a good financial advisor helps you map out a plan for each step of your retirement without taking a commission. Mike also happens to be the founder of Talon Wealth and is on a mission to help those near and in retirement protect and grow their nest egg. And he's ready to prove it with the Talon Satisfaction Guarantee. It's pretty simple. For any new client that hires Talon to actively manage their portfolio, if you aren't satisfied after 1 year, for any reason, Talon will refund 100% of your advisor fees. Yep, that's right. For any new client that hires Talon to actively manage their portfolio, if you aren't satisfied after 1 year, for any reason at all, Talon will refund 100% of your advisor fees. Visit guardingyournestegg.com.
Hey, there's John McGinnis here. Let's think about this for a moment. What is a true fiduciary? Well, Mike Lester is the founder of Talon Wealth, and he believes the definition is quite simple. A true fiduciary is someone who does not sell products. Some of those products could be mutual funds, annuities, or even real estate investment trusts. Mike says a true fiduciary shouldn't get paid before their client does. And that absolutely makes sense. Mike is a true fiduciary who's passionate about those near and in retirement, being aware of all your retirement options and making sure you receive the full value you're paying for. Every penny counts at retirement. So reach out for a free comprehensive financial plan to see if there are better options available that you may not be aware of. Call them at 916-545-6000, 916-545-6000. By the way, this process also reveals if you saved enough to retire comfortably. So connect and schedule now at guardingyournestegg.com.
Advisory services through Talon Private Wealth and SEC registered investment advisor. John McGinnis was compensated for this message and is not a client of Talon Private Wealth, LLC, California license 0N00828. CBS News Brief. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu hinted new negotiations are underway to recover more than 100 hostages still in captivity in Gaza. He mourned the loss of 3 of them killed by friendly fire during the country's ground operation.
The state of Israel grieved over the tragic death of the 3 of our hostages.
The White House and Senate are negotiating an immigration deal as part of a security package that includes funding for Ukraine. CBS's Willie James Inman from Washington.
As the bill is struck with Senate Republicans, the House still gets a say. And some House Republicans have called for things such as border construction and the Trump era remains in Mexico policy be part of the legislation.
It's a wet weekend in the southeast and up the East Coast. The Weather Channel's Kelly Cass.
We're talking 2 to 3 inches of rain. Flood watches are also in effect for portions of the Mid-Atlantic, Baltimore, D.C., Philadelphia, and
CBS News Brief. I'm Wendy Gillette.
Focusing on you and your money.
Cut the BS and let's just get to the truth.
Back to Guarding Your Nest Egg with Mike Lester and Kristen Charles.
Jingle bell, jingle bell, jingle bell rock.
From the entire team at Talon Wealth, we're wishing you and your family all the best this holiday season, celebrating with a little Christmas trivia. I mean, who does not love this time of year and all the things? I love the opportunity to feel smarter than Mike, because that never happens. With the fee-only fiduciary over there.
That's what we're talking about. I mean, if we're talking 90s country, you know a lot more than I do about that.
Valid. I got this information according to Good Housekeeping. I feel like as a Southern woman, they are a Bible of sorts when it comes to certain things. So, Jingle Bells was originally written as a song for what holiday?
Kristen, obviously I'm going to assume it's Christmas, but, well, of course, God, first of all, it's not fair. I mean, you're literally teeing me up for